Raise your fists together. I am somebody. I may be poor, but I am somebody.
Red and yellow, brown, black, and white. We're all precious in God's sight. Everybody is somebody. Stop the violence. Save the children. Stop bullying. Save the children.
Hold your head high. Stick your chest out. You can make it. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sonia Whitaker, National Education Policy Director for Push for Excellence. And on behalf of the Rainbow Push Coalition, we'd like to thank you so very much for giving of your gift of time and joining us here on our Saturday morning forum. We'd like to thank Word Network for bringing you to us and us to you, and yet we recognize that there are many of you that are watching us right now on Facebook Live. If you're doing so, we'd like to ask that you like our page. And for the many of you that are watching us now on YouTube Live, we'd like to ask that you subscribe to our page so that you may gain immediate access to all of the content that we have in store for you. And speaking of content, we can't do this without you. We need your support, and we've made it really easy for you to give. In fact, you can pick up that cell phone of yours right now and simply hold it to the QR code on the screen and give right on the spot. Or you can take that same cell phone and text the word push to 41444. Text push to 41444. You may also consider simply going to our website at rainbowpush.org and clicking on the donate button. Now, whatever you do, don't move, don't touch that dial, because we'll be right back. The push is on.
Mommy is a hero!
Who's your hero?
My mom. And I love my mom because she takes care of me. Nobody takes care of me like my mom.
My greatest role model is my mom because she's a teacher and I really want to be a teacher. Then she's like very creative and I'm creative. And this is a lesson she gave me, and she said always remain a lady, and that'll like stick to me forever. And
my mom is loving, she is kind, she is forgiving, she is caring because she teaches me responsibility. She's teaching me responsibility for me to work hard and get my grades up so I can go to a good school.
I'm afraid of dogs, heights, and butts. And my mom encourages me to get over my fears and to step out of my comfort zone.
I love my mom because she is kind, she's sweet, she buys me whatever I want.
Also, something else my mommy told me, but that privileges are bad and responsibilities are good, because my responsibilities are cleaning my room and make sure I do my work. The privileges are phone, tablet, TV, even computer.
So we were going to Virginia, and there's a pool in Virginia. There's a kiddie one with a gate so you won't just run into the big pool, and there's a big one with no gate. And while I was there, I saw other people swimming, so I just thought I could. So I just jumped in the big kid pool. I tried to get up, so I got up, and I was yelling, so my mom helped me because she heard me yelling, and that's how my mom helped me from almost drowning.
I admire my mom most because she has her own business, and right now she's actually helping me with my own. and it's called Jelly Bean Creations. And I'm actually wearing one of these shirts right now. She went to take me to the mall, and it's fun jump. You jump high and then back down, and then high and then back down. It's called a master jump. And you go up, and my mommy take me there a lot. She even took me yesterday.
One day I was swinging, but I was jumped off and I fell off the swings, and then mommy hugged me. Hugged me. Hugged me.
I remember when mommy let us go to the water park and I went down the water slide. The prayer that my mom taught me was the guardian angel prayer. Angel of God, my guardian dear, to whom God's love commits me here. Ever this day, be at our side, to light and guard, to rule and guide. Amen.
Thanks for being a hero.
Thank you so much and welcome back. I have the great honor, the distinct honor of interviewing Miss Raina Ford, who is the author of I See You, and I must admit I would be remiss if I did not share that I'm excited about this because we are working and living in a time where there's an attempt to make sure that Black and brown children are not seen. You didn't even know I was gonna say that, and so the fact that you have written a book, we'll talk about the contents in a second, entitled I See You, and then I See You, the author. Do you know that there is a lack of African-American authors in American schools today?
Definitely, yes.
And so the fact that you are here and you are ready to talk about what you have produced in the form of writing, I want you to know that you are feeling a gap. You are feeling a gap, and I want you to be excited about that.
Thank you.
So before we talk about your, I'm going to call it your art, your magic here, can you tell our viewing audience a little bit about you? Who is Miss Raina Ford?
Sure. So, hello, my name is Raina Ford, and I'm a graduating senior from Fenwick High School in Oak Park, Illinois. And next fall, I will be attending the Howard University, majoring in international business with a minor in marketing and Spanish.
Absolutely. So. Can you tell us, before you talk about the contents of the book, can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind your book? And I want you to hold it because it's your baby.
Sure. So I grew up within a household where my sister, my older sister, had a disability. And there are thousands of households like that. And I knew that there was a void in supplying these siblings with the necessary help that they need. And so my inspiration for this book stemmed from my own story, pretty much. I grew up, she had to receive a lot of attention from my parents, and I often felt alone. So I wanted to help other children who didn't have this resource when I was younger, to essentially find their voice, learn positive coping skills, and understand that their voice is powerful and they should be seen and heard.
And I think that is so powerful because very often you'll see workshops or you'll see books or even in magazines where there is conversation about the needs of students with various disabilities. And very often you'll see recommendations and advice about how to support them. But I must admit, I don't know that even I have thought about what that experience might be like for the sibling.
Exactly. There are 10 to 20 million children in the U.S. that have a disability, but there's also 40 million siblings living in their home. And so the purpose of my book, what I'm trying to do is fill that void, like I said, and just supply these children with powerful messages to uplift them, because I know that I would have loved to have this resource when I was younger, and I'm just trying to impact their lives as much as possible.
Can we delve into the content a little bit?
Sure.
Can you tell me some of the content that is actually in the book without giving away your book, because we do intend to have this book sold?
Yes. So the book is about, it follows a girl, her name is Leah, and her mother tells her that she's going to a summer camp where she'll meet other children like her, meaning these are other siblings of children with a chronic illness or disability. And while at camp, she learns about different, coping skills, and she also learns about her own talents, which make her special. And I won't reveal that yet, but
yeah, don't tell them anything.
She gets to essentially interact with other kids like her and understand that she's not alone. And at the end, there's a talent show with all the kids, and they essentially display all their talents that they learned along the way while at camp.
What are you most proud of as it relates to the contents of that book? And then I have another question.
What I'm most proud of is my ability, my story growing up. It was very difficult, and it still is a little difficult to talk about, but I was able to put it on paper, and for it to resonate with other children. And when I'm going to other schools, talking and speaking and having, random kids come up to me and be like, oh my gosh, my sibling has autism or ADHD like you. And I deeply connected to your book. That's been the greatest feeling ever. And I'm so glad that my story was able to, be placed on paper and impact the lives of millions of children.
And so how have you grown?
I've
as a
grown
direct result of articulating your thoughts in the form of writing.
Ever since I was younger, I loved writing. I wrote random short stories. I also loved writing poetry. And so this was not far-fetched, writing this story, but like I said, it was difficult to put my story on paper and essentially come to terms with those feelings. But I'm so happy that I did, and I just hope everybody will be able to relate to this book in some way, because the amount of people who I've met who've said that, I wish I would have had this when I was younger is amazing.
And so, as you were talking, even at the beginning, I made one connection kind of to the larger society, if I might speak to them. And again, initially I talked about the fact that there is not enough books in America's public schools that reflect the spirits, the lives, the interests, and the intellectual capabilities of children of color. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. The second thing that comes to my mind, which we know, and research supports the notion that there are not enough African American authors in America's public schools. And so right here we have an opportunity, young African American author, to embrace her content, to embrace her book, and make it available to our students. The other connection that I made when you were talking is not only, which is the essence of your book, do we have to allow for support emotionally, psychologically for children who are siblings of students with disability, but what about even students who are in school who are interacting with others, their peers who have disabilities? And so it reminds me of the term equity in education. Well, equity means equity for all students. Students, not just students whose native language is other than English, not just African American or brown students, but students with disabilities. And so, we could go on and on about the benefits and how this book can be used in classrooms and in school districts. And I expect, as a direct result of this conversation, that people are going to be reaching out to you because you have definitely fulfilled a need. What I'd like for you to do is to share with our viewing audience how much your book costs and how to go about obtaining a copy of it, and any closing remarks that you may have.
Yes,
it's your time to shine.
So you can get my book at projecticu.com, and that's the title of our organization. So that's project, the letter I, S-E-E, the letter U.com. And my book on there is $15.99, and all the profits that we make go to three main, components. So the first thing is research. The second is funding mental health services for children, siblings specifically, and then finally supplying these siblings with experiences like experiencing camp or going to enrichment programs. So that's where you can find my book.
And there you have it, in the flesh, author, entrepreneur, college bound.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Rihanna Ford. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back because the push is on.
When you shop, Amazon gives. Visit Amazon Smile and select Push for Excellence as your charitable organization by starting your shopping at smile.amazon.com.
Push Excel's goal is to inspire students to strive for excellence in education in spite of personal, family, and community challenges that they might experience. How do we do this? by advocating for educational policies that guarantee equal funding for all students without regard to race or economic standing, by engaging parents, students, and teachers in pursuing high-quality education and striving for educational excellence at every level, and by forging partnerships with community-based and public sector stakeholders in education. Now, Push Excel is a national model program with the purpose of connecting principals, parents, popular personalities, and students in a bond and to support students at every level on the educational ladder. Now, we want you to become a member of the Rainbow Push Coalition and Push Excel. Your annual membership can help us to change policies that impact students, colleges, and universities all around the country. So step up and sign up today. Membership is only $35, and if you're a student or a senior, $15. Just go to our website, rainbowpush.org, and push join to become a member or push donate to support the Push Excel program. You can also text the word Push Excel, that's PUSHEXCEL, to 41444 on your cell phone, and you can give us any amount that you feel comfortable giving or call us at 773-256-2775. Wherever you are, you can support us as we keep pushing for you. And remember to keep hope alive.
Welcome back to Spotlight on Education. I am Dr. Sonia Whitaker, and I have the distinct honor of being joined by
Reverend Jeanette Wilson.
And we are excited because guess what? For many school districts across our nation in particular.
She's excited because
she says I stay excited.
No, your school district is.
We're about to wrap up. We're about to wrap up
the year.
Our students will be graduating, and they will be off the property and let outside of summer school as soon as 3 weeks from today. And so
congratulations for a successful year.
I know, right? You know what? Can I just pause for a second and just soak up the fact that we've made it through? Yeah. I really do appreciate that. We made it through, and we're near end. With that being said,
and so many educators. We need to say thank you to our educators for a year full of information, full of challenges. I mean, I just can't imagine what you all have endured this year.
Well, a lot. And so we thought that for today's Spotlight on Education, we would talk about kind of like a year-end review, some of the hot topics that have occurred this year that really still exist as issues that we need to address. One of them being the national teacher shortage, one of them being the banned books, and another kind of newer topic that we were discussing is the need to educate students about their climate. Where should we start?
Well, the other thing is this violence that's hitting our schools, our children and community. It's an attack on our children. Well, you start where you want. You've had a year.
I think that, the idea that we still have a ban on books. We are still leading, living, and teachers are attempting to teach during a time where politics has made its way, in some cases successfully, into their classrooms. I say very often, most of the time, educators went into the profession because they didn't want to have anything to do with politics. But the reality is that because of politics, there are people from the outside that are working to determine what types of books students to have access to.
I don't think that's appropriate for these politicians to decide what children should or should not read. They're not educators. They're not looking at the educational value of a particular book, a particular author, and a particular perspective. They're not looking at the information that our children need to acquire about different cultures, cultures and their impact on American history, world history. And I think it's unfortunate. They're banning books, many of them written by African American and Latino authors.
Which we don't have enough of already.
And politicians should not be making those kind of decisions.
Absolutely.
I remember when they banned the Scarlet Letter. I remember when they were banning certain people in British history because some politicians just thought it was too much for young people to know and to learn. And so now we leave them to learn using their own devices, social media, and learning from peers.
Right, right. The other topic that still remains an issue is the national teacher shortage that we've talked about on several different levels.
See, we
here.
thought it ended when COVID ended.
Right.
When they said we're lifting the ban on COVID, I thought the teacher shortage had ended.
And it didn't.
What is causing this teacher shortage?
I really love that question
Huh.
a lot. I love it a lot because not a lot of people ask that, what is the cause? And what I'm learning is the cause is it's multifaceted in terms of what they're expressing as the reason. And one of them being really is COVID. But that, there was a national teacher shortage before COVID. But the reason why I mentioned COVID is because the teachers that left the profession didn't come back after that.
Really?
So, yes, so stress associated with that in particular. Student discipline.
That's a big problem.
Teachers are saying that have left the profession, and they said to me personally and you, I'm sure, that we're having a conversation about the national teacher shortage, but not enough conversation about why it actually exists. When teachers have to be afraid whether or not a gun is going to be brought to their classroom, that's problematic. If teachers have to be afraid if students aren't getting the right support in the area of mental health, if they're going to be harassed, that's not what they went to school for.
And then parents, some parents will come up to school angry about a grade,
Absolutely.
angry about something a teacher may or may not have said, but the child went home and said the teacher said it. You have parents go to the school ready to fight the teacher. And you got to say the income is not equitable across the board for teachers.
Absolutely, and let's tie that back to the topic we're talking about, teacher shortage. When there is a teacher shortage, what do you think the other teachers have to do?
They do double work.
They do double duty. They take on more students.
What's the average income for a teacher straight out of college?
Somewhere around 40, depending upon the district, 35, 40, 50.
I wouldn't do, that's combat pay, and it's not enough.
And not only are they taking on additional students for that pay, they're sometimes having to teach in areas that they have not been trained to teach in.
And I remember teaching chemistry. I'm a chemistry teacher. I'm not special needs. In my classroom, I had children because they said they want them all in the classroom. Well, nobody gave me an orientation or a training on how to deal with children with special needs.
Right.
Not to say they didn't belong, but I needed to know what to look for, how certain behaviors, how I was to respond. Because with chemicals, I had a guy that was I think he was a pyromaniac. I said to the class, do not drop sodium into this water because it will explode, or this oil because it will explode. Of course, he dropped it in there, and he was happy.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh no. So, and we don't have corporal punishment anymore, so I couldn't hit him.
No, you could not.
And it's somebody else's child.
Right.
But he could have blown up the whole room.
Right.
So, you have to train the teachers for what they are to expect from the students' behavior.
Absolutely, which is a lot.
It's a lot.
Which is a lot. So we've talked about, in terms of hot topics, I want to go to the third one. We've talked about the ban on books. We've talked about the national teacher shortage. The third hot topic, which is actually pretty new to me, is this topic around the need to teach children about climate control. What's your take on that? How do you feel about that?
We have to talk to children about what are they doing that is causing the Earth's surface to heat up. And if the Earth's surface heats up, what happens to us? The weather changes. I know everybody's trying to figure out, why is it hot today, cold tonight? It's because of the climate changes and the melting of the ice caps up in Antarctica. So our children need to understand there are things that we do as people. The more cars we drive that are not electric, the more hydrocarbons we are emitted into the atmosphere. We are opening up we're increasing the ozone hole in the ozone layer. And I mean, it's just so much. And we heat up the Earth's surface, so what happens to when we dump certain things in the water?
Right.
The fish die.
And I can't think of a better opportunity to do that than in the math and the science content areas. Those areas present us an opportunity to provide students with the opportunity to not only learn, but to offer solutions. And so that's why I want to pivot the ending of our conversation related to solutions for each of the three topics that we just discussed. And I'll start with the last one, which is, again, the importance of raising the consciousness of the students that are in America's public schools around climate control, but then pivoting that conversation around what do they need to learn about it, and how can they take what they learned about it to solve the issues that we have described.
How about this? They have to know they live on a planet.
Right.
They don't just live in U.S.
You're right.
of A.
You're right.
And what I do in America impacts what happens to students and people in Africa. So when you chop down trees, that's why, you know, we're planting more trees now because we need to have cleaner air.
Absolutely.
And so they plant trees. I know you don't want that big tree in front of your house, but it helps you breathe better.
Absolutely. And so then recommendations related to the national teacher shortage, I have been really tooting my horn as it relates to the need to coming up with creative measures to make sure that teachers are taught, that students are taught by certified teachers. And one measure that I am really pushing is a lot of school districts now have technology. They have big screens. They have the technologies into their classroom. I'm going to suggest that we use teachers in alignment with our teacher contracts, of course, that are skilled in particular areas that are not only local or national, but international. Bring those faces and those skills and those expertise into your classrooms so that we can give students the exposure that they need to be able to be successful in various content areas.
I think that's really important because a lot of teachers will say, I wasn't good in math or science. Well, then we need teachers that are good in math and science because technology rules the world.
Absolutely.
And so we need to be able to bring some teachers from the outside into the classroom that can help you teach science, teach math, robotics, engineering.
Absolutely. And then finally, with regards to the ban on books, the recommendation that I am making, we know that in many school districts right here, we're international, but right here in the state of Illinois, there was a recent school board election. And so I would speak directly to newly elected and currently seated Board of Education members to make sure that you know, with regards to curriculum that is being provided to you to adopt or reject, that you know the contents of the curriculum. If someone's suggesting to you that a book be banned, I am suggesting that newly elected board members in particular pay attention to the contents of the materials that you are being told actually need to be banned so that you can make an informed decision about your vote on issues related to that topic in particular.
Oh, I'm excited, and there are 3 things that you can do to help us help you. You have a critical thinking series coming up when?
Absolutely. On May 27th, we are looking for, meaning Push for Excellence, are actually going to have members of various different organizations talk to us about the book on bans, about why it's important that you are informed, and about why it's important to make sure that students of all races, of all backgrounds, and from all different economic class structures have access to books that reflect the spirits, the lives, the interests, and the intellectual capabilities of children of color. So for more information about that, be sure to visit us at pushexcel.org.
Well, I got something, May 20th. May 20th, I need all parents, wherever you are, meet us at Push, because we're going to talk about the role parents have in the education of children. It's your child. It's our children, but it's your child, and you want to make sure you know what to ask when you go to school and speak with teachers. You don't have to be hostile. You don't have to be angry. You have to be informed, and that's what we want to do. We're having a parent meeting at Rainbow Push headquarters in Chicago Saturday, May 20th, next Saturday. And then we're going to prepare you for the convention.
And so listen, don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. The push
is on.
Watch over my babies, cover them and keep them on their way. And if danger's around them, no harm will befall them. I know you hear a mother's prayer. God above all
When I think of Rainbow Push, I think of two words: social justice.
Education advocacy.
Political empowerment.
Freedom and equality.
Global humanitarian.
Evolutionary, revolutionary.
Political change.
Inclusion, evolution. Push Excel.
Progress, justice.
Jesse Jackson.
Love for disciplines.
Equality and perseverance.
Corporate partnership.
People united.
Push yes.
I'm Otis Moss III. I'm Frederick Douglass Haynes III. And we are here simply just to say to you about an incredible organization known as Operation Push.
Can I be admitted? No, sir, you cannot be admitted. Why? I am not going to serve you. Because of my race?
Operation Push has been here for us even when we didn't know it. As a matter of fact, a lot of the doors that you walk through is because of the fact that somebody knocked those doors down.
I am somebody. I may be poor, but I am somebody.
And because of Operation Push, when it started as Operation Breadbasket, after the assassination of Dr. King, they decided to build an organization that were people united to save humanity.
Just what is Operation Push? Well, Operation Push is a civil economics organization. It's a religious organization with an economic mission. And we believe that the black church is the political and spiritual salvation of our people. And it is to that extent that we challenge churches and churchmen to get involved.
And so we are simply asking those who have been blessed by Push to join the movement.
That's right. And if you do that, I promise you, you are blessing the next generation. And that's what we need, generationally, to bless those who come behind us, just as those before us made sure that we could have what we have. That's Operation Push, pushing doors open. But we can't push if we don't have your hand involved.
We want to turn on the gas. We want to turn on the water. We want to sell the clothes. We want to sell the cars. We want to be men. We want self-determination.
And it was Jesse Jackson who was the young man of the movement and now is an elder statesman. And we've got to make sure that we have another generation that will be pushing forward, another generation that will be building an Operation Breadbasket, another generation that will be talking about new economic strategies for those who are poor.
And ensuring that we are never politically disenfranchised. I hope you already recognize that there is a movement afoot to rob us of what we fought so hard for and shed blood for, and that is the right to express our voice through voting.
If blacks vote in great numbers, progressive whites win. It's the only way progressive whites win. If blacks vote in great numbers, Hispanics win. When blacks, Hispanics, and progressive whites vote, women win. When women win, children win. When women and children win, workers win. We must all come up together. We must come up together.
We need you in Rainbow Push to make sure we are politically empowered and enfranchised.
There is no other organization like Rainbow Push, and we encourage you to make sure that you join and financially support. If we don't support it, no other organization will. It is our duty, it is our job to support our organizations.
We got to do it. Grassroots organization, hitting the streets and challenging those in the suites. That's Operation Push.
I like that. I'm Reverend Otis Moss III.
Hey, I'm Frederick D. Haynes III. He's rubbing off on me.
Make sure you join Operation Push, Rainbow Push, today.
Keep hope alive.
As protests continue to swirl over the choking death of Jordan Neely on an F train last Monday, today Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg made his first public comments about Daniel Penny, the former Marine who subdued Neely. The DA vowing his office will follow the facts.
I think sometimes people
peer into the silence and look at that as if, well, the office isn't doing anything or it's not important. It's quite the contrary.
A grand jury is said to be investigating Penny and might indict him in the case. Neely, who had a documented history of mental health issues and more than 40 arrests, had been acting erratically on the train when Penny placed him in a chokehold that knocked him unconscious. He would never wake up.
I went to pour a little water on Jordan Neely's head, and Daniel Penny came up and told me to stop. And he got over him and said stop. If he didn't have the intention of killing Jordan Neely, I believe that at the least he did not have consideration for his life because he was poor, homeless, and black.
Neely's death came as the mayor has been trying to address mental illness in the transit system, even authorizing police to involuntarily commit people who appear to be a danger to themselves or others. Sources say Neely was on an unofficial list of the top 50 most endangered homeless in the subway, but still he lacked the services that might have intervened before he crossed paths with Daniel Penny.
I've been in the subway system talking to young black men who are the majority of those who are homeless and dealing with severe mental illnesses, trying to get them off the system in the care that they deserve. I don't want us to be energized when we have a death and not energized when there's conditions that's creating the deaths that are at our hand.
This is Bishop Tavis Grant, the Acting National Executive Director of the Rainbow Push Coalition, and this is State of the Movement. We were left in shock and awe in viewing the video of the murder of Jordan Neely, an artist, artistic, young, bright, vibrant life taken while having a mental health episode. This young man needed treatment. This young man needed medical assistance. This young man needed compassion in the midst of a crisis. And yet, a veteran of the Marines grabbed him, choked him, and killed him. We are leading a chorus of voices calling for an immediate response to this murder. Like in the case of Breonna Taylor, Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Eric Gardner, over and over again, we are left with this narrative in our American culture that somehow being young, black, and somewhat challenged makes you a criminal. This was heinous. This was horrific. It was an unacceptable display of vigilantism at a time where this young man, life could have been saved had he received the appropriate, adequate care. How many times have we had these cases come before the American public by way of a cell phone, by way of a tablet, by way of streaming media, showing us live in living color that there is a devalued, degrading process in the American culture when it comes to black skin. Jordan's name should ring in streets and on corners all over America. And we should stop and pause and answer the question, what does it take to be free, young, and black in America? This was unacceptable. It was immoral and let alone illegal. And we're constantly asking these questions over and over again. What does it take to get help? What does it take to get assistance? What does it take to get support? So many in the black and brown community are faced with the day-to-day challenge of dealing with mental health issues, and they don't have access to health care, don't have access to therapy, and don't have access to wraparound services that can help them develop the means of sustainability, viability, and a sense of acceptance in our communities. Imagine what it would have looked like had the right individuals been there to respond to Jordan Neely's crisis, rather than treat him as if having a mental illness is indeed a crime, and we know that not to be true. And so our voices must be lifted. Marches and demonstrations are breaking out. sporadically all over New York and around the country as we are mobilizing, galvanizing, and equipping ourselves with the ability, the capability, and the capacity to lift the voice of Jordan Neely and say his name. And we're not just going to say his name, but the countless numbers of others who die on a daily basis under these circumstances, whether it be while they're in detention, whether it be while they are in a traffic stop, while it may be while they are jogging, or while they may be having dinner with their family. Black lives do matter. Brown lives do matter. And justice matters. And it is our quest and our request that the authorities there in New York do due diligence in ensuring that justice is not marginalized and compromised in this situation. We all saw what happened, and just like Jordan Neely deserved better care, the perpetrator deserves their day in court. But we know when this justice system is used properly and in order, and particularly in the framework of its own constitution, we know, as a matter of fact, we can get true justice. So I'm urging you, I'm calling you, I am insisting of you to say the name of Jordan Neely until justice is done. This is State of the Movement.
Some say my future not that bright. Some say I'm useless, unholy, and I'm not living right. But at the beginning of the day, look in the mirror and say, I am somebody. Oh. Well, I believe the future's in my hand. And I tell every boy, girl, woman, and man, if I can think it, I can believe it, create it and achieve it. So I am somebody. Oh, I am somebody. Oh, I am somebody. Maybe down and pushed away, but at the end of the day, I am somebody. Oh, so take away the hate and give me love. Yeah. So take away the hate and give me love. Give me peace instead of pain, joy inside this rain. I will remain somebody. Oh, so take away the hate and give me love. Somebody. Take away the hate and show me love. Maybe down but not destroyed, empty but not void, 'cause I am somebody. Oh, I am somebody. Oh, I am somebody. Maybe down and pushed away, but at the end of the day, I am somebody. I am somebody. Oh, I am somebody. You can turn and walk away, but at the end of the day, I am somebody. Ooh, I am somebody. Oh, I am somebody. Maybe down and pushed away, but at the end of the day, I am somebody. Oh, I am somebody. Oh, I turn and walk away, but at the end of the day, I am somebody. Oh, I am somebody. Oh, I am somebody. Maybe down but not destroyed, empty but not void, and I am somebody. Oh, I am. Pray for me. Oh, just pray for me. Oh, pray. Pray for me. Pray for me.
Get involved with the movement.
Somebody. I may be poor, but I am somebody.
Join the movement.
If you're not a member, become a member.
I am somebody.
Fighting the most important battles for freedom and justice for all.
You made us change. Oh, trying to bring closer.
Join Rainbow Push.
But you're not pushing me away.
Join the movement. Join Rainbow Push.
We're excited to get more people engaged and involved in Rainbow Push, supporting the programs of Push for Excellence and the Citizenship Education Fund. Now, if you're interested in public policy and you want to help change the policies that impact those who are incarcerated, you can do so. If you're interested in impacting public policies that benefit education and businesses with social economic solutions, you can do that as well. You can become a policymaker by becoming a member of Rainbow Push right now. Now, if you believe in the scholarships that we've given to thousands of students each year, you can help us out. We've awarded more than $10 million in scholarships year to date. Now, you can help young people achieve a higher education by becoming a member of Rainbow Push right now for the annual fee of only $35. And if you're a student or a senior, it's only $15. You can help us make a difference in the lives of millions. Now, if you watch us every week, or if you listen to us on the radio, or if you're viewing on social media, we need you to become a member. And how do you become a member? It's simple. Visit us at rainbowpush.org and press join. Maybe you'd like to support the work of Push. If so, it's really simple. You can do so by texting the word PUSH, that's P-U-S-H, to 41444 on your cell phone, and you can give any amount that you feel comfortable giving, or you can call us at 773-256-2775 or go to rainbowpush.org and push donate. So whenever you want to support, you can do it from anywhere. So keep pushing, because we're going to keep pushing for you and keep hope alive.
This is Bishop Tavis Grant, the Acting National Executive Director of the Rainbow Push Coalition, and I want to thank you for being a part of this partnership, this relationship, and this opportunity for us to bring change to the communities in which you live. You know, each and every day, we bring you content, we bring you information and engagement to ensure that you are properly armed and ready to fight for justice. This July 15th through the 19th, is the most amazing civil rights convention on the planet, the Rainbow Push Annual International Convention, held right here in Chicago at the Rubenstein Forum on the campus of the University of Chicago. It is going to be a phenomenal time, a phenomenal engagement, and you don't want to miss it. You can go to www.rainbowpush.org right now, and you can register for that convention, because I'm telling you, seats are going to run out, space is going to run out, and guess what? Time is going to run out. And so I want you to go to that site right now and join right now. It's $35. It's $35. It's equivalent of a membership with this incredible organization. And I want to thank so many of you. I look at the roll every week that comes on my desk, and I want to thank you for your investment. I want to thank you for your contribution. I want to thank you for your commitment to this cause. Now listen, $35 is not asking you too much to fight for justice. $35 is not asking you too much to fight for liberation. $35 is not asking you too much to ensure that the light of freedom goes unhindered. And that's the work of Jesse Jackson and the Rainbow Push Coalition. There are those of you that while you're watching and you've gotten the content, you've gotten the information, you've gotten the equipment to be a part of the fastest growing civil rights army on the planet, you've made contributions, and I'm asking you again, as I make weekly contributions, I'm asking you to make a weekly contribution. There are those of you that could give $1,000, $500, $100, $50. I know you wear this pen like I do every day with a sense of pride and esteem, knowing that you're standing beside the most iconic figure of our time, Jesse Louis Jackson. And yet we cannot do this work without your support and without your investment. So I want you to go to one of those sites at the bottom of the screen. I want you to go to our main site, www.rainbowpush.org, or you can text the word PUSH to 41444. And via your mobile device, you can make sure that when young people need assistance, we are there. When seniors need assistance, we are there. When people, returning citizens, need assistance, we are there. When the least of these need the energy and the influence of Reverend Jesse Louis Jackson and the Rainbow Push Coalition, we are there. When you need us, we are there. And so I want to thank you in advance for your contribution. I want to thank you for your investment. I want to thank you for your gift, because you are, guess what? You're keeping hope alive. Thank you.
We're excited to get more people involved in Rainbow Push, supporting the programs of Push for Excellence and the Citizenship Education Fund. If you're interested in impacting public policies, if you believe in the scholarships that we give to thousands of students each and every year, you can become a policymaker by becoming a member of Rainbow Push right now. For an annual membership of $35, or if you're a student or senior, $15, you can help us make a difference in the lives of millions. How do you become a member? Visit our website at rainbowpush.org and press join. Or maybe you'd like to support us. You can text the word PUSH, that's PUSH, to 41444 on your cell phone, and you can give any amount you feel comfortable giving. You can also call us at 773-256-2775, or go to rainbowpush.org and push donate. Wherever you are, you can support us as we keep pushing for you.
Dr. Kim, I went to jail with a group of 7 students, July 17, 1960, almost 60 years ago. We never stopped moving. I lost a few jail cells and death. We never stopped moving. I thought it was time to write some of it down so the older generation can learn how we did and what we did and how global it was. Whether speaking about Mandela in South Africa, India, Qatar, about Gandhi in India, here at home. This book tells the story, so please get it. To give it to your friends. Read it, let's argue about it, let's discuss it.
Yep, so the book is Keeping Hope Alive, Sermons and Speeches of Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. It's quite a good collection. You know, we've got sermons and speeches from around the globe because you have made such a global impact, not just here in the U.S., but around the world.
Thank you for tuning in to our International Saturday morning broadcast. We need your support. Here are ways to give to Rainbow Push Coalition. Text PUSH, P-U-S-H, to 41444 to support the work of Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. and Rainbow Push Coalition. When you shop, Amazon gives. Visit Amazon Smile and select Push for Excellence as your charitable organization by starting your shopping at smile.amazon.com.
So thank you for joining us on our Saturday morning forum. Be sure to visit our website at rainbowpush.org so that you can gain information relevant to our up and coming annual convention. You'll also want to visit all of our social media platforms so that you can gain additional information about all that we have going on in the organization. And equally important, we appreciate your ongoing support. Feel free to take that cell phone of yours and hold it to the QR code on the screen and give on the spot. Or take that same cell phone and text the word PUSH to 41444. Or you can simply go to our website at rainbowpush.org and click on the Donate button.
We are sanctuary. We are a sanctuary.
When I think of Rainbow Push, I think of two words: social justice.
Education advocacy.
Political empowerment.
Freedom and equality.
Corporate partnership.
Stop the violence. Save the children. Don't get in. Shut it down. If we don't get in, shut it down.
Political change.
Inclusion, evolution.
Progress, justice.
Jesse Jackson.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
We want to be bridges to end these cultural gaps.
We're going forward. By hope. Not backwards. By fear.